This week on The Splash, Family Fun Night at WBHS, West Bloomfield PD versus FD on the softball field, and drive-through flu shots. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Welcome to The Splash. I'm Maddie Mustion. Many traditions are being reborn in West Bloomfield as the pandemic continues, and the West Bloomfield School District made sure that its annual Family Fun Night came back better than ever with a stronger message. Reporter Tyler Kieft has a story.
2021 sees another greater West Bloomfield tradition return as West Bloomfield School District hosted another one of its annual Family Fun Nights with a renewed sense of community and a greater meaning behind everything that makes West Bloomfield special. The community joined the West Bloomfield School District for the 10th annual Family Fun Night after a year apart, separated from its neighbors, classmates, community organizations, and the heart of what defines this community, its devotion to service and bringing people together.
What it really means is a sense of community, and they can see all of the helpers in the community, the police, the fire, the paramedics, the military, and how all those people come together to make our community a safe and great place to be. And so I think it's learning by experience.
This is actually our 10th annual Family Fun Night event. It also coincides with the 20th anniversary of the attacks of 9/11. The event is geared in a couple directions. First off, it is a community event to engage everybody from pre-K all the way through our high schoolers and then our community members, just to come to our campus, experience what we have to offer, and really try and invite people in to be part of the West Bloomfield High School Laker Nation. And then the other side of that is we use this event to recognize our armed services, our police, fire, EMTs, as well as our frontline workers in the field of medicine. So we have Henry Ford sending some representatives to be recognized as well. So we do a special presentation before the game. Our athletes wear the camo jerseys.
Family Fun Night provides an excellent outlet for reuniting the community, but also for emphasizing the community's pillars of service, providing an outlet for residents to meet the first responders who protect them every day. And the West Bloomfield School District officials agree there is no better example to set for the kids than by introducing them to our first responders and the organizations that help so many from right here in our community.
Kids can see the help that they have. From the first responders' perspective, they can feel and hear and see the appreciation that the community has and also impact kids in a positive way by just being here. And I think what we teach our children is that it takes a whole community working together. In this pandemic, we haven't had that opportunity, but now we do, and let's take advantage of it. It is the 10-year anniversary of Family Fun Night. It's the 20-year anniversary of the tragedy in New York City, 9/11, and I think both of those add a significance to this event that we didn't have before, and coming off a pandemic just adds to it.
The fact that we can have this event and we can, bring the community together is a result of all of the work that those people do, right? And so I hope the impact on our families in our district and in our community is the same as it's been on me, where, it can kind of rekindle that community spirit. And it can bring us back together with our neighbors from close and from far. And then also we can recognize that the reason we're allowed to have an event like that and we can do so safely in preceding such a great football game is because of the work of the armed services, our police, fire, EMTs, and those frontline workers.
An afternoon of appreciation and a lot of great athletics here at West Bloomfield High School as the West Bloomfield community came back together to celebrate another Family Fun Night and, more importantly, celebrate its community. At West Bloomfield High School, I'm Tyler Kieft, reporting for The Splash.
You can find more information at our website at civiccentertv.com/familyfunnight21. When they aren't protecting our greater West Bloomfield community, the West Bloomfield Police and Fire Departments like to engage in some friendly competition. Before Family Fun Night, the two departments met on the softball field to compete in an intense game surrounded by family and friends. I caught up with some of the players and Fire Chief Greg Flynn after the game to get some thoughts. The first annual softball game between the West Bloomfield Police and Fire Department took place prior to Family Fun Night last Friday as a way to join the two departments in some friendly competition. Starting with a moment of silence for those they have lost in the line of duty, The unity between the police and fire departments was evident on and off the field.
Now, if we could take a moment of silence to remember those that have fallen in the line of duty, including our own Sergeant Patrick O'Rourke, Lieutenant Jeff Hiltner, who also shared badge number 55. We also our fallen military service women and men, first responders and victims of 9/11.
After the matchup, I spoke with Fire Chief Greg Flynn and members of the police department about the game.
Coming together is, I think, the big thing. There's been so little of that as we've moved through the pandemic, rightly so. But as this opportunity presents, and to come together on such a beautiful day and share some laughs and have some fun for a great cause, I really don't think it gets much better than that. Well, the good thing is I think there's lots of opportunity for adjustments for FD, and that's all right. You know, our strength really is in responding to emergency calls in the township. So if our strength isn't out here on the softball field, that's okay, because we're happy to do it on the fire ground. It was a lot of fun to watch both police and fire play, and it's just a great opportunity for them to come together for a great community event. So I hope it's the start of an annual thing that we can do.
Well, it's all about the Police Foundation. They're the ones that came up with this idea. They collaborated with the West Bloomfield Fire Department Foundation, and they put this incredible event together. And what it did is it really brought two great public safety departments together just for a great day. The community came out and supported us. We were on the radio today, and it was just a lot of fun. Well, I think the key to success for us was the big practice we had yesterday. We all came together, did a little practice on the dunes, and it paid off, and we won big.
Well, it was all about camaraderie with my team, and obviously giving us a great opportunity to work with the fire department. And honestly, it was just all about just having a good time. It's something we don't really get to do in this time of year, and it was a great experience. It's something to boast about for the years to come, so hopefully we can make this an annual thing, and they might have an opportunity next year, but doubt it.
After a fun night and a big win for the police department, both fire and police departments are excited for this annual tradition to continue. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Maddie Mustion. For more information, you can visit civiccentertv.com/WBPDFD Softball Game 21. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll find out more about how to get your flu shot this season.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Let's catch up. Not online or over text. Let's catch up in a place where time isn't measured in minutes, but in moments. Moments made paddling the day away on a crystal blue waterway. Or just sitting around a campfire beneath a canopy of twinkling stars. It's time to make up for lost time. This summer, let's catch up with Pure Michigan.
The exact path of the storm may not be certain, but what is certain are the steps you can take to get ready. Make a plan, outline contact information and evacuation routes. Download emergency alerts to your phone. Listen to directions and updates from local authorities. Have conversations with your loved ones. Discuss steps to prepare with family, friends, and neighbors. Visit ready.gov for tips to prepare to protect yourself and others.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Maddie Mustion. The West Bloomfield Fire Department is hosting drive-through flu vaccine events this year to help keep the community healthy during flu season. Jake Kustosh tells us the information we need to know about getting flu shots this year.
It's flu season, and with flu season comes flu shots. The West Bloomfield Fire Department is hoping to make the process of getting your flu vaccine easier this year.
The clinic's going to be September 25th, and we'll hold that clinic at Fire Station number 1 at 4601 Orchard Lake Road. That's the fire station right in front of the high school. And what's really convenient about these clinics that we've done in the past with Alana's Foundation, and now we've kind of taken it to the next step where we're bringing those drive-through clinics where people can register before coming to the clinic, and then they'll just drive right in. They'll have all their information. They don't have to get out of the vehicle necessarily, administer the vaccine, and they go right out the other side and they're on their way. So it really is a convenient model, and we get really good feedback about it. When we look at things like mobility issues. If somebody has to park their car and then walk across the parking lot and it's raining out or it's cold out or it's windy out, any of those things, we eliminate a lot of that by just they can drive, come right into the security and safety of the fire station apparatus room. And that's a very controlled space. So then we can, the nurses there, the Visiting Nurses Association, can go ahead and deliver the vaccine, and then they stay right in their car and they're right on their way out. And so the risk for slip and falls and trips and falls and just kind of some of those little things that can happen at a shot clinic are eliminated by putting those in place. And then with the pandemic going on, we're forcing that physical distancing that takes place because they remain in their car. And all of that just becomes easier to control. And, definitely fire stations across Southeast Michigan have been taking up this charge, and it's a good model. And it's still a good time of year to do that. Still warm enough where the apparatus room isn't getting too cold with the water and pipes and hoses that are in there. So September is just a great time to do that.
Do you have to live in West Bloomfield to receive your shot?
Really, Alana's Foundation is applied to everybody in the area. They really just are focused on making sure those that want the vaccine for the flu have access to it. So don't believe that there's any kind of zip code checking or anything like that, but just being pre-registered. And if you went to our Facebook page for the West Bloomfield Fire Department, you'd see that in one of our more recent posts. And I think there's even a little QR code that you can shoot on your phone. It'll take you right to the registration page and get you going.
Reporting for The Splash, I'm Jake Kustash.
To find out about events and hours, you can visit civiccentertv.com/drive-through-flu-shots. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll talk with Byron Turnquist, West Bloomfield Fire Marshal.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
This holiday season, shopping online doesn't mean you can't shop with small local businesses. Despite the challenges of this moment, many of Southeast Michigan's small businesses have adapted and now have online ordering with options for contactless delivery or curbside pickup for a safe and convenient experience. Supporting local businesses means supporting our neighbors. So let's be neighborly and shop local in Southeast Michigan.
My dad ran the parts department at a marina. 12 of the 25 employees contracted COVID. My dad was the one casualty of the 12. My dad lived in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and because I wasn't vaccinated yet, I was not able to pay my respects. I haven't yet. I miss you, Dad. I miss you something fierce. Excuse me.
If not for you, for them. Get vaccinated.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Maddie Mustion. This week, I'm joined by Byron Turnquist, the West Bloomfield Fire Marshal for the West Bloomfield Fire Department. How are you doing today, Byron?
Great, Maddie. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us a little bit about what the fire department has been up to this fall/summer.
As we go in the fall, we always start to prepare for our annual fire safety open house. This year, we're going to hold that at Fire Station 1 again. It's scheduled to be on October 3rd, which is a Sunday, from noon to 3. It's, again, Fire Station 1 is the fire station right next door to the high school, just south of Lone Pine Road.
Awesome. And can you give us, I'm sure going into fall, there's a few things that we need to keep in mind as a household, kind of making sure that we are up to date with our fire safety tips. Do you guys have any tips that you can give us, to make sure that we're being the safest as we possibly can?
Yeah. Right now, again, as we move into fall, it's approaching time to change our clocks. We always like to use that as a reminder to change the batteries in your smoke alarms. It's very important that you have working smoke alarms throughout your home. Just a reminder, they should be on every floor of your house. Outside of the sleeping areas, you should have one in every bedroom. It's also a good idea to have one in the basement.
And then what are some of the things that you kind of see mostly heading into fall, some of the issues that households have either inside the house or outdoors? Inside the home, again, approaching fall, we start to get the cooler temperatures.
Before you turn your furnace on, it's always a good idea to have that inspected by a licensed contractor to make sure that the burner's working. You want to change your furnace filter. And when you're done checking your smoke alarm, you also want to check your carbon monoxide alarm. This year we've seen an increase in the number of carbon monoxide alarms that we've been responding to. Some of it has been to the increased use of generators, and some has been some failing household equipment. So it's very important that you have working carbon monoxide alarms along with your smoke alarms.
And we are still seeing a little bit of the warmer weather creep in as we are trying to head into fall. I know that some people are probably still out on their boats or in the water. Do you have any tips for water safety as we are still kind of trying to hold on to those last days of summer?
Definitely. You want to make sure that you have your flotation devices. If you're going out on a kayak or a paddleboard out by yourself, you want to make sure you let somebody know where you're going, how long you plan to be on the water, and when you plan to be back. Just in case somebody starts to miss you, they have a good idea where you're at and where we can go to find you. As summer wraps up too, everybody likes to start cleaning up their yard. Just a reminder that as you clean up your yard waste, you've got to put that out with the garbage, that the West Bloomfield Township's got no open burning.
Awesome. And then also I know that you have, I'm sure, a bunch of great events coming up this fall, but one that I wanted to talk about was the drive-through flu shot event that you guys are having this upcoming Saturday. Will you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's real simple. We've partnered with the Alanis Foundation, and that's going to be held at Fire Station 1, again on Orchard Lake Road next to the high school. It's going to be a drive-up flu shot clinic. It's very convenient, very easy, moves very well. One thing that you do need to do is you need to make sure that you pre-register online. It's very important that they know that you're coming and you have that appointment so that it speeds up the process and it goes smoothly. That's going to be, again, on September 25th from 11 to 1:30 at Fire Station number 1.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and as always, thank you for your service and keeping our community safe.
Anytime, and can always keep up to date with what's going on in the fire department just by following our Facebook page.
Once again, we've been joined by Byron Turnquist, the West Bloomfield Fire Marshal. We're going to take one final break, and when we return, we will spotlight someone who is creating fun events to educate our community about its rich history.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Maddie Mustion. Now it's time for our final segment, Person of the Week. This is where we highlight special people who are inspiring and providing towards others. This week's recipient is Corey Taylor from the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Corey is the Office and Activities Coordinator at the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, where she spends her time helping to organize fun and informative events for all of us in the community. The Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society works to research and preserve the local history of our 4 communities. It also is home to the Orchard Lake Museum, where Corey and the team collect historical artifacts and documents, and where you can find many of the engaging events that Corey organizes for our community. This dedication to preserving our history in the Greater West Bloomfield area is why Corey is our Person of the Week. If you know someone who is making a positive difference, let us know. And message us on social media with any and all suggestions, because we want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community. And that's it for this week's show. You can watch new episodes anytime online in HD on civiccentertv.com, Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. on Civic Center TV on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Civic Center TV and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Mustion. Thank you for watching The Splash.